Hey seniors, this is Miss Koppel. It's Monday night, and I'm going to do a quick tutorial on how to use GarageBand that we have at Washburn and what's available to us, and how to show us some really simple tricks to make sure that we can all get this done by our deadlines, and to make this as quick and easy as I can for you. So let's get started. First, I'm going to pull up GarageBand. Top hit right now on my computer. What are the odds? And then notice that a lot of them showed you on the tutorials we used that there was podcast, which there was on the ones we used last year, but there's not this year, not a big deal. We're going to use empty project, okay? So you're going to click on empty project. Oh, ignore this. This was create. This was something that I was downloading. Separate. Ignore that. So a couple options on here really quick. Let's start with the voice audio up here. If you choose to do voice audio on the screens that are actually, on Washburn with the microphones that are on the computers we're using up on the top, you can. So let me just show you really quick if there was something that you wanted to add at the end, even though I hope most of us do this on our phone or on a different device. Press record. That 4 beats was a count in, which to me is really annoying, and I'll show you how to stop that in a second. But here's a test for recording your voice on the computer. I've stopped that, and if I want to go back and play it, that 4 beats was a count in, which to me is really annoying, and I'll show you how to stop that in a second. But here's a test for recording your voice on the computer. And then if I was like, oh, I spoke too much, it's too long, or oh, I hate that part, I'm going to redo it. You can play around with how long or how short you want to make it on here by dragging this in or out. So now I've made mine significantly shorter. Let's just say I didn't like the last part. That 4 beats was a count in, which to me is really annoying. So there's the section with that. Let's talk about this count in that I was talking about. I would just do none, so that way it doesn't do that tap in that you heard or whatever we call that. All right, moving along. I got some voice in, and now I want to add some music or some transition sounds. Up here in the corner, you'll see this lovely button, Media Browser. I'm going to click on that. The media browser will give you iTunes that are on your computer that you're using at Washburn, and some other songs that are on GarageBand, okay? I'm just going to pick one random down here, and I'm going to drag this one up to my next row, and I'm going to put it right there. Now, this song I don't want to play the whole entire time, right, because that would get quite long. Again, so I can shorten this. If I double click down here, I can mess with it in detail. So I'm again going to make this significantly shorter because I feel it is way too long for what I'm trying to do. And then by making it shorter down here, it will be shorter up on your toolbar. Ta-da! Perfect. It's just the right length. So now I want to see how this sounds together. That 4 beats was a count in, which to me is really annoying. Whoa, that music comes in pretty loud. So notice I can overlap it a little bit here. And what I think I'd like to do here is like some sort of fade out, so the music doesn't come in quite so loud. By double clicking up here now, I can play around with the fading. I can make this louder or quiet, and then I can click again. Oops, double click, and I can make it go perhaps back up again after I'm done talking. I could also do the same up here. I'm going to keep my voice loud the entire time, but I could fade around with that. This is sort of the master one down here, so that's something to keep in mind if you're like, I can't hear what I'm saying. Perhaps it's a part down here that you want to mess with. So now let's check it out and see if this sounds any better. That 4 beats was a count in, which to me is really annoying. I still think that this needs to start lower, and I think it doesn't need to get this loud. Perhaps it can get a little bit louder later. So again, I'll let you play around with that, and you can see if you like the way that sounds. That 4 beats was a count in, which to me is really annoying. Much better. The last thing I want to talk to you about before I show you how to publish this, okay, would be how to add in music now that you've done on voice memo or some other part of your phone. So I'm going to pretend that I've already recorded something on voice memo and I've saved it, and then I'm going to email it to myself. Okay, that's the easiest way to do this, is to email it to yourself, and then to pull it up from there. So I'm going to go to my email. Oops, I already have it pulled up in Chrome down here. I'm going to log in to my email. Ta-da! And what do you know, my GarageBand. So now I'm going to download it. as an attachment down here, okay? And I will see that it exists in my downloads. And now all I have to do is take my GarageBand that I made already and drag it in here, and place it where I want. So you'll see the little plus sign. And again, keep in mind you can move this around, so it doesn't have to stay right there. It can overlap. And I can do the same things with it that I could do with the first recording. I can make it longer or shorter by messing with it down here. So if I don't like the last part or the way it sounds, I can make it significantly shorter. So let's just play around with this for a second. Let me show you what I did. Again, what I recorded on my phone is not awesome at all, but at least you can hear a little bit of what I meant when I was saying link it up with the phone and how it doesn't sound different at all than when I did it on the computer. That 4 beats was a count in, which to me is really annoying. I'm noticing something's wrong. Oh, my volume down here on the master. That's why. This to show you that it is possible to upload something from your phone from voice memo. Perhaps this is where I did my interview and also did most of my recording since it's super quiet. Okay, so you get the idea, I hope. Now I'm going to go to File, Save As. This starts in